then Jason Kendall, the catcher. Kevin Young at first base hits fourth. Jose Guillen, the right fielder, batting fifth. Turner Ward, left field, hits fifth. Freddie Garcia, third base, batting sixth. Seventh, Abraham Nunez at shortstop hits eighth. Francisco Cordova, the pitcher, batting ninth. They're facing Paul Byrd, and his first pitch of the game is a little bit high for a ball.
Oh, Paul Byrd's 3-2, 3.13 earned run average. This is his sixth start. 37 1/3 innings, 33 hits, 9 walks, 23 strikeouts.
Opponents hitting just .234 against him. As a Philly, they're hitting only .221 against him.
He's done just a tremendous job. He's been a real boost to this starting staff here.
Look out. One and two to Tony Womack. Youngster was hit with that foul ball. He was walking out under his own power, which is a good sign. It hit him on the side of the head.
Oh.
But he is walking, and that's good news. 2 and 2. Those come so fast. Late swing to the opposite field by a left or right hand hitter. They get it in the stand so quickly. Phils will find out who that young man is, and for sure he'll get some souvenirs. Line drive center field. Glanville glides to it for out number 1. Defensively, the Phillies line up with Scott Rowland at third, Desi Relaford shortstop, Marlon Anderson at second, Rico Brogna at first, Bobby Estelea catching, Kevin Sessing in left today, Doug Glanville in center, Bobby Abreu in right. Adrian Brown, the switch hitting center fielder, will bat. He's hitting at .313 since coming up. Hit .289 in Nashville. Birthday wishes today to Rita Berry from husband Ed and the family, and from us to Rita Berry, celebrating on this September 13th. 1 ball and no strikes to Adrian Brown. Two and nothing. Paul Byrd still boasts being the only pitcher in the National League to beat the big unit. Randy Johnson 8-1 since coming to the Houston Astros, and Byrd beat him here at Veterans Stadium, shut him out. It's fallen behind Brown here 3-0. Gives up walks grudgingly, but that was a 4-pitch walk, and Byrd wondered where that 4th pitch was. Brian Gibbons said it was outside.
It looked like it might have run off the plate just a hair. Bird's only faced the Pirates once in his career last year out of the bullpen with Atlanta. He had a 1-2-3 inning.
Jason Kendall is the 4th leading hitter in the league, hitting at .332. It's worn the Phillies out this year and in his career. Just missing ball 1. Kendall hitting .419 this year against the Phils, .393 lifetime. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jason Kendall. Birthday wishes to Bernie Deserble, celebrating in Norwood today. Many happy returns of the day to Bernie. Changeup had him well out in front of him. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
This is that split finger changeup he throws it. He's now throwing it to right-handers. He doesn't use it a whole lot. He uses it more so against left-handers, but it's been a big help for him.
Runner goes, sliced foul down the first base side. Count holds a 1-2 to Jason Kendall. Madge Roberts of Scranton celebrating his 78th birthday. Wishes from Larry and from us to Madge Roberts. Kendall's average higher with runners on base. Runner going again. It's lace foul down the left field side. So Brown has been moving on the last 2 pitches. Time to call a pitch out, L.A.?
I don't think so. I think a slide step would help. But one thing with Kendall does put the bat on the ball to get that runner going. That pitch there, Byrd, is at times when he has problems is when he gets his slider up and over the plate. That one, the last 2 sliders he's thrown have been inside part of the plate, which is not what you want to do against a right-hander.
He goes again. Pitch inside, throw late. Stolen base. Brown, his third. He has not been caught. Pittsburgh's a running ball club. They have stolen 146 bases as a team, 1 behind Houston for the National League lead. Should have pitched out, L.A.
Yeah.
2-2 the count to Jason Kendall. Fouls this one back and out of play. It's still 2-2. Kendall has become really a tough out. Actually, he has in his entire career. 4th in the league in hitting. Made the All-Star team as a rookie 2 years ago. Played in the ball game here at Veterans Stadium.
One of the problems with Kendall, one of the reasons I think he hits well, is that he's not afraid to get hit. When you throw a pitch in, and one thing you have to be careful, he will. The other night, I think it looked like he almost leaned into a pitch. He's not afraid to take one for the team and get that base, especially if he's got 2 strikes on him. The last 2 times Paul Byrd has come inside, he's just missed him.
Popped him up on the right side of the infield. Rico Bronya, and foul ground makes the play for out number 2. And it will bring up Kevin Young. Young batting at .279, 24 homers. He's knocked in 101. Birthday wishes to Adam Bissey in Haddon Heights, New Jersey, from Mom and Dad, Aunt Mary, Marianne, Rob, Shannon, Tina, Laura, and Jason. And from us to Adam Bissey in Haddon Heights. Young's had a real good year. He has struggled lately, 2 for his last 31. Over the last 10 days, hitting .074. Two balls and no strikes. Birthday wishes to Ann Planamento of Fulcroft, which is coming from husband Dave, who works here on the ground crew, from Patty, Craig, and Adam. And from us to Ann Planamento. What was that pitch? 3 balls and no strikes to Kevin Young.
Those are the sliders, I think, that they're starting inside and coming over the plate. That ball's up. That ball actually didn't break. That's one thing when Paul Byrd gets bent over, if he doesn't get his body back up right, he gets under a lot of pitches.
And a green light, 3-0, and didn't come up with it. 3 balls and a strike to Kevin Young. Full count. Pittsburgh doesn't hit many home runs. They have the fewest in the league, 100. But this guy is their leader, Kevin Young, with 24 of them.
Here's where Byrd has bent over. as he starts to go, he gets back upright. You see his back gets straightened up. But sometimes if he doesn't get back up in a good position, his arm drops down, and that's where he gets under those sliders. And he will get those balls up in a kind of a scary hitting area.
Second walk in the inning surrendered by Byrd. The batter will be Jose Guillen. He's hitting at .277. Guillen has been hot lately. One and nothing. Bill and Georgia Brasco of South Philadelphia celebrating a 61st wedding anniversary. Bill, who used to work here at the ballpark. Bobby has to lay out to talk to Paul Byrd.
26 pitches already and have 15 balls, 11 strikes, which is not good, and it's not really characteristic of Paul Byrd. In his 35 innings with the Phillies, he'd only walked 5 coming into the game.
Just missing 2 balls and no strikes. Two men on base, 2 outs here in the top of the first.
That's been one of the problems. The last 3 of the last 4 games, the Phillies starting pitchers have walked 2 in the first inning. The only exception, Mark Portugal, with a 1-2-3 inning yesterday, and that's the first time in a while we've seen a 1-2-3 first inning.
Two and 1 the count to Jose Guillen. Line drive hit to right field. This will score a run. Abreu's throw is cut off. And the Pirates jump to a 1-0 lead, so the walks cost Byrd here in the first inning. Guillen drives in a first inning run.
Well, he gets another ball up here a little bit. Fastball and runs right back over the plate. He usually throws 2 different fastballs. One that'll cut away from a right-hander just a little bit, and one that'll run into a right-hander. That one looked like a 2-seamer. If he throws his other 4-seamer, it stays on the outside part of the plate. Makes a lot better pitch. As that ball runs back over the plate, it becomes very hittable. Galen out to settle him down and just get him back on track, back in focus, and making his pitches.
George Goldschmidt of Northeast Philadelphia celebrating his 76th birthday today. Wishes coming from his wife and family and from us. Veteran Turner Ward will be the batter. Ward hitting at .269, a switch hitter. Batting better right-handed than left, but left-handed he's hit all 8 of his home runs. Played in the big leagues for Cleveland, Toronto, and Milwaukee before joining Pittsburgh last year. Offs a fly ball to left field. Kevin Sefcik should put it away, and does, and that will retire the side. Pirates get a run, 1 hit, no errors, leaving 2 after 1/2. Pittsburgh 1. Phil's coming to bat. First scored a first inning run. Phillies batting at the bottom of the first. Terry Francona's lineup. Doug Glanville center field leads off. Desi Relaford shortstop batting second. Rico Bronya at first base hits third. Scott Rowland third baseman batting fourth. Bobby Abreu right field hits fifth. Kevin Sefcik the left fielder batting sixth. Marlon Anderson at second base bats seventh. Bobby Estalella catching hitting eighth. Paul Byrd the pitcher bats ninth. Gene Lamont defensively has Freddie Garcia at third, Abraham Nunez at shortstop, Tony Womack at second, Kevin Young at first, Jason Kendall catching, Turner Ward in left field, Adrian Brown in center, Jose Guillen in right. On the mound is Francisco Cordova.
Cordova's making his 31st start this afternoon. He is 12-12 with a 3.23 earned run average. That is 7th in the National League. Pitched 203rd innings, 184 hits. 62 walks and 143 strikeouts. He's 0-2 this year against the Phils. Opponents hitting .243 off of him. Schilling faced him twice. He lost both decisions, did Cordova. He's high ERA in those 2 games is 6.55.
Back through the middle, the mound slows it down. Nunez did not get him. Glanville legged it out. Nunez did all he could do, and a good scoop by Kevin Young, but Doug Glanville with an infield single.
Oh, we've seen that a couple of times. Glanville just with good speed. Nunez can't get anything on the ball, which is understandable. Glanville just beats it out. And as you said, he did everything he could do, did Nunez, and there's just nothing you can do.
So Glanville with his 179th hit will bring up Desi Relaford. Missed on the bunt try. I think they might have got me. But a bang play. Glanville gets the call. He's at first base.
A lot of times it's the toughest call for an umpire, because a lot of times they will look at the bag and listen for the sound of the ball in the glove, and when the ball doesn't have much on it, there's not really much to hear at first base, and it's a tougher call for him.
As he beats a foul down the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes. A correction on a birthday. Ann Planamento is our ground crew member Dave's mom, not his wife. So wishes to Dave's mom, Ann Planamento, on this September 13th. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Relaford. Francisco Cordova already has more runs to work with than he has in his 3 previous starts. Pittsburgh scored none for him in his last 3 starts. He has 1 here today.
Well, 7 of his 12 starts, they've scored 1 or 0 runs. Sure, Curt Schilling can feel for him in that regard.
He's got the 7th lowest ERA in the National League at 3.23. Two and 2 to Desi Relaford. Sam and Helen Mancini of South Philadelphia celebrating a 51st wedding anniversary today. Glanville is the Phillies' leading base stealer with 22 of them. Cordova keeping an eye on him. Thanks to Donnie and Kenda Cosgrove for the decorated cookies they sent up last night. There goes Glanville. The pitch is inside. Kendall's throw is high. Stolen base. Doug Glanville.
Glanville got a good jump there off of Cordova. Cordova's not real slow to the plate, but Glanville just a real good jump. Went on first movement. Is a little bit of a leg kick for Cordova, but he's pretty quick with it. Kendall, you saw going to throw the ball, looks like he slipped on the plate. That first step, you take a step, you plant off that back foot, and that's your first step with that back foot, a crossover, and Glanville does a good job and a good jump.
Now Desi will try to pull the ball to move him. Ellen Corbett of Middletown, Delaware. Belated birthday wishes. Recently celebrated her 82nd. Looped into left field. That's going to fall for a hit. Glanville had to make sure it would not be caught, so he'll hold at third with nobody out. And the Phillies have runners at first and third with nobody out here in the first inning.
Well, that's what you have to do there. Glanville has to make sure he goes. A good pitch by Cordova. Down and away, might not even been a strike. Desi a good piece of hitting. But Glanville's got to make sure that Turner Ward cannot come up with this ball. And once you look and hesitate for a second, you got to hold up, especially with nobody out.
And it'll bring up Rico Brogna. Bronya and Roland kind of flip-flopped in the batting order today. Bronya hitting third, Roland hitting fourth. And that actually is the first time this year that Roland will hit out of the 4-hole. He's hit out of the 3-hole all the time.
Well, Francona said he didn't want two lefties back-to-back in case you get later in the game and it can use Rincon, who is very tough on left-handers, out of the pin against him back-to-back. It's a good sinker by Cordova. He comes at you from all different arm angles. He'll be over the top, drop down 3/4, throw sidearm. Generally against a left-hander, you don't want to drop down because they will see the ball better out of your hand. Have more time for him to pick the ball up.
Beats a foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rico Bronya. Bronya and Scott Rowland are tied for the club leadership in runs batted in with 103. Rico has not had all that much success against Francisco Cordova, 2 for 11 with 3 strikeouts. Fastball, he hits foul, still 1-2 to Bronya. Right after the game, we'll be heading for Hotlanta. Kurt Schilling and Tom Glanville tomorrow night. Tom Glavine tomorrow night. Tyler Green and Kevin Millwood on Tuesday, and Carlton Lower against John Smoltz on Wednesday. Alex must be pitching today at home.
He's pitching today, yeah. He has not been pitching Maddox-like as of late.
They're battling for the best record in the National League right now. They're behind Houston. 2-2 to Bronya. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Cordova. 1 down here in the first. It'll bring up Scott Rowland.
Well, he throws Bronya a changeup here, which he doesn't use a whole lot. He's basically more of a sinker slider type pitcher. And after the fastballs he had seen, he threw a good slider down and in, and then he comes back with this changeup. Bronya looking fastball.
Scott Rowland hitting at 285, 28 homers. He has knocked in 103. Nothing to Rowland. Pittsburgh scored a run in the top of the first. Phillies threatening here in the bottom half. Rowland 4 for 12 against Cordova. One strike to Scott Rowland.
Hey, Scott, what he's done at home, 69 RBIs, 4th in the league at home.
19 of his 28 home runs have come here at Veterans Stadium. That's too close. Cannot get yourself picked off in this situation. You can't make it that close. He was safe, but you don't make it that close.
If you get picked off in this situation, you might not want to go back to the dugout.
The old Larry Anderson move. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV Philadelphia.
Sidearm breaking ball is over for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And the thing about dropping down like that, hitters look for a certain area where the pitcher throws the ball out of. And when a guy drops down, You know, they're usually looking over a right-hander's right shoulder where they generally throw the ball from. Now you look up there, and then all of a sudden he drops down and gives him a different look, and it's a split decision. You just freeze.
Now Scott Rowland's got to concentrate on putting his bat on the ball. And he just barely did. Still 1-2.
With another slider, Scotty's just protecting there. You get 2 strikes. You don't want to be called out on him taking a pitch, especially a fastball. And so with 2 strikes, most hitters are up there looking for a fastball, and you adjust to the other pitches, and that's what Scotty did. But it makes it tough. You're sitting fastball, you get a good slider like that.
And a cut at that one. He fouled it back. Still 1-2.
That was a pitch to hit right there for Scott Rowland.
Glanville at third, Desi Relaford first. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. That's wide with a slider. 2-2.
Through the course of a game, if you get 4 at bats, you will generally have 4 pitches to hit. 4 decent pitches to hit, whether you swing or not or foul them off. Now, it depends on the hitter, but pitchers do make mistakes.
Right back at Cordova. He wasn't on the bag. They did not get the double play. And Nunez, there was confusion as to who was covering Nunez or Womack, and they were both there, and they fouled up a double play, which would have got them out of the inning. Look at them. They're both there. Now, Nunez finally did get the bag just ahead of the sliding Desi Relaford, but Rowland legs it out, and then we're tied at 1-1. The Pirates foul that up.
Well, that cost them a run right there, because that is an easy double play ball. Cordova made a decent throw to the bag. If there's only one guy there, whether it's Womack or Nunez, they make that play and get the double play.
So the Phillies have tied, and Rowland knocks in his 104th run. 2 outs with Scott Rowland at first base for Bobby Abreu. James Aiken of Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, celebrating his 79th birthday recently, 2 days ago. Called in by his grandson Jim, and wishes from the whole family to James Aiken and from us. James at Kennett Square. Cordova likes to throw to first, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a pretty good move. He's pretty quick feet.
Hard ground ball, Nunez. Nice play. That'll retire the side. Phillies do tie it here in the bottom of the first. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. After 1, we are tied 1-1.
Spectacular catch he just made. And he has the 1 run batted in today, as the Pirates got a little confused on who was covering second on a dead double play ball back to the pitcher, and Scott hustled it out. So he has 104 runs batted in on the year. Good sinker there by Cordova. This ball really moves.
Good movement. It bottoms out, and when it gets to the plate, and it's 90, close to 90 a lot of times.
This guy is a good pitcher. I mean, you don't hear a lot about him because he's pitching in Pittsburgh. Pirates don't get a lot of publicity. They're a young team trying to get better. But there's nobody in baseball wouldn't take Francisco Cordova and put him in their rotation.
In a second.
Check swing foul behind the plate. H.U. missed his play by Rowland. Here it is.
Oh, look where he's at. I mean, he's right there. He's, 3 feet off the ground, parallel to the ground. Wow.
Outside. You know, you can see on that replay, he knew he was going to catch that. I mean, he timed that ball because it was a little bit off the end of the bat, and he timed it and then just went into that prone position to catch it. And he walks him. So Cordova, is normally pretty good control, has walked 2 today. 2-out walk to Estelé, and now a leadoff walk to Scott Rowland here in the 4th inning as Pete Vukovich, the pitching coach, looks on. That'll bring up Bobby Abreu, who grounded out hard to short his first time up.
He's at over 50 pitches now, 52 pitches, 31 strikes, 21 balls, which I guess is okay. It's not great.
Well, he nibbles a little bit. I mean, he's not a guy going to throw a fastball down the middle.
But he can, with his movement, he's a guy that you can throw first pitch fastball down the middle at the knees, let it sink, and like that, get ground balls, although that's on the corner. But if, as a first pitch, you throw it inner half or outer half, depending on which way you're going, and throw it knee high and let that ball just sink. And if you can get a guy to swing at the first pitch and get a ground ball, great.
That's what he was trying to do there to Abreu, who took it. He also has a real good move to first and is pretty good at policing base runners. Cordova is now 26 years of age, out of Veracruz, Mexico. 3rd time the Phillies have seen him this year. Schilling's beaten him in his other 2 starts against the Phils, once here, once at Three Rivers. Outside, 1-1 to Bobby. Good batting average for Bobby Abreu, who likes day games, batting .358 in the sunlight. Has 13 homers, 65 runs batted in. Hit number 13 here last night in the 1st inning. Hit to deep right field, fair or foul, down the line, it is gone! An upper deck home run for Bobby Abreu. Oh, he hit a long one. Phillies lead it 3-1 on Abreu's home run to deep right field.
Boy, that was a bomb. No doubt about it. It was only a question whether it was going to hook around that pole or not. If it had enough straight to it to get out in fair territory, and it did. Up in the upper decks, and fans went down to pick it up over there. Wow.
That is only the 13th ball ever hit into the upper deck in right field.
And he did it on the 13th.
And he did it on the 13th. I'm trying to think if there are any this year. It was 12 coming into this year. I don't remember one.
All right. You see Kendall setting up inside. He wants a fastball, and it comes back just a little bit. Abreu obviously looking in there. You see where it went in that upper deck.
There were 2 hit there last year. Ken Caminetti off Kurt Schilling and Brant Brown off Mark Leiter. But unless one was hit there this year that we don't remember, that's number 13 to right field here in the history of this ballpark. Sefcik pops one up right field, shallow. Jose Guillen makes the play. So a leadoff walk and a long home run by Bobby Abreu, his 14th of the year. Phillies have a 3-1 lead here in the 4th inning. And now the star that you see out there by that exit sign is the one where Willie Stargell hit one right through that exit off Jim Bunning in the first year of this ballpark. That was on June the 25th of 1971. And Bobby with a big smile, and why not upper tanker for him?
I think he's saying, I think I got it all.
Yeah, I mean, the only question about that one was if it would stay fair.
Boy.
Marlon Anderson, 1 ball and 1 strike on the Phillies' young second baseman. He grounded to second his first time up. And Jay McLaughlin confirming that was home run number 13 to the upper deck in right field. Last Philly to hit one up there was back in 1995, second game of a doubleheader. Tony Longmire off Jason Christensen of the Pirates. That was a game-winning home run, second game of that doubleheader. Fly ball shallow left field by Anderson. Drifting in, the left fielder Turner Ward puts it away. That's the second out. Well, games are dwindling down to a precious few, and only 3 left here at Veterans Stadium. Next weekend, the Montreal Expos in with Vladimir Guerrero. What a good-looking player he is. Friday and Saturday nights at 7:05. Then Sunday at 1:35. That's Fan Appreciation Day 1 week from today. Your last chance to come on out at 98-463-1000. Stop by the Pennsylvania Convention Center, 12th and Art Streets for your tickets. And remember, Fan Appreciation Day next week, one of the many gifts to be given away, a 1998 Nissan Altima.
That home run of Abreu, if you hit balls like that, you have home run potential. I mean, you definitely have home run power. He's only got 14, but I really think he's going to be a 20 to 30 home run a year guy when he learns to get better, gets experience, and learns how to turn on balls like that, look in certain situations for a pitch.
And you know, Andy, he'll hit them out the other way too, just by going with the pitch. He almost hit a left center field home run here on Friday night. So he'll use the whole field for his power. Estalella doing a nice job out of that 8-hole today, trying to get the pitcher out of the way. He walked his last time up with 2 strikes, and Bobby very patiently here goes to 3-1. Not the easiest thing to do, bat 8th with the kind of power that he has. And he pops that one up. Nunez waits, and the shortstop puts it away. Phillies with a walk and a 2-run bomb by that guy right there, Bobby Abreu. Phillies now lead it 3-1 on this Bobby Abreu swing of the bat. Philadelphia Athletics win the World Series under Connie Mack, and in what years?
I believe I know that one, Wills.
How would you know that?
I studied.
I know you study, but that isn't what you study. Over for a strike to Byrd, who hit a fly ball to right his first time up. Byrd 3 for 13 on the year, 231 average. Swings and misses that good sinker. 0-2, top of the order then to Doug Glanville and Desi Rutherford. Phillies 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The Pirates a run on 2 hits and no errors. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning on a beautiful afternoon here at Veterans Stadium. Phillies back here one more weekend. Off to Atlanta tonight for a 3-game series with the Braves, and then 3 next weekend with Montreal, and that's it for the home season. Oh, that's dirty. Drops down on the pitcher. Nasty.
I don't know where it was. Looked like it. Right there. He drops down, throws this slider. I mean, Bird's ducked down, but that ball's in the middle of his thighs.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat into right center field, Adrian Brown there makes the play, 1 out. Forget Dream Week. We're into the 2nd week now. The 2nd new long weekend edition. Lower price Dream Week for $99. See you in Clearwater, Florida next year in the sunshine, along with Larry Anderson, Mitch Williams, Larry Boa, the Crucker. 215-938-1200. Make that call right away. 215-938-1200 before the 2nd program is sold out, and they'll get back to you real soon. Doug with a line drive to center. Brown coming on. Can't make it. Look out. Glanville on his way to 2nd, backed up by Gee, and he fumbles the ball. Here comes Glanville. They're going to wave him around. The throw to the plate is late. He scores standing up. 4-1 Phillies. We'll see how they score it.
I would say it's at least a triple. I don't know if they'll give the right fielder there an error or not.
Well, Doug Glanville had one in Colorado that we thought could have been an inside the park home run, was not scored. Now, Guillen does fumble this a little bit on the warning track when he tries to backhand it. Here's Brown, and he can't make the play.
He can't make it. Guillen comes over. If Guillen gets this ball, he doesn't go inside the park. But once he did that, even with his arm, Vukovic waving him around. Boy. You know, it doesn't look like he's running hard, but he is.
Pop up to short. Nunez right there. They still haven't scored that. That's a tough call. That's fine. When you're an official scorer, people are always second guessing them, but it's hard. I just heard an E in there somewhere.
Now he can't make it. Right there, that's a hit. It's still a hit all the way. But right here, I think if Guillen gets this, Glanville's not going to get more than a triple.
And that's how they scored it. A triple and an error on the right fielder. His 7th triple of the year. So Doug's come close to a couple of inside the parkers. But if Guillen does catch that ball, he's going to stop him at 3rd. Because he has a great arm. Well, when that ball got by Brown, the center fielder, you knew it was going to be interesting. So the Phillies now with a 4-1 lead. Scored 2 last inning, 1 this inning. Rico, that could be extra bases. It will be. By Turner Ward. It bounces back crazily past him, and Rico will stop at second with a stand-up double for Bronia's 33rd double of the year.
And a good piece of hitting by Bronya. Bronya is very good at taking a pitch down and away and going the other way with it, as he did with this pitch. Now he goes down and gets that. I mean, the ball is down. It's probably below the knees, but he just goes down with it as Ward can't come up with it off the wall. And Rico, he knows he's got a double. I think he had entertained thoughts of possibly 3, but Ward made a quick recovery and held him at second.
And the Pirates are going to get Jeff Tabaka up in the bullpen, a left-hander, as Pete Vukovich goes out to have a talk with Cordova, who may have come unhinged a little bit after what happened last inning with that upper deck home run hit by Abreu, and now this play in the outfield that looked like it should have either been caught or kept to a single, turned into a triple and an error 9 as Glanville circled the bases. There's Tabaka, who was with the Phillies briefly a few years ago. At least in spring training he was. And Scott Rowland will bat. Scott has an infield outfielder's choice RBI, his 104th of the year, and he's walked and scored a run and made another spectacular defensive play. Ooh is right. He had a rip at that one.
That's what I was saying earlier. I mean, this is what good hitters thrive on. They get a pitch to hit, they hit it. Scott fouls that straight back. It means he's right on it. But if you get 4 at bats in a game, you're going to have 4 pitches to hit, 4 decent pitches that you could probably drive. Pitchers do make mistakes.
Low and outside with a breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Scott taking over the RBI lead on the club with that RBI number 104. Rico with 103. Bronya at second base with 2 outs in the inning. And a foul off to the right side and out of play. Some guy got his hands smoked and the guy behind him got the ball, which happens a lot of times.
There's just no justice, Wheels.
Oh. Guy's going to have trouble picking up the phone when he goes home, and his buddy behind him got the baseball.
And his son's mad at him.
Really? Dad, how'd you miss it? Drops down and misses. 2-2. Hate those guys that drop down. Don't you think when you tried to play this game, and that was the nastiest thing, when someone would come from the side like that.
Well, your first reaction is to bail.
Oop, Scott thought that might have been a little bit low, but he's called out on strikes. 1 run in the inning on a spectacular circle of the bases by that guy right there, Doug Glanville, as Scott Rowland is called out on this pitch that is outside. 2 hits and 1 left. 4-1 Phillies.
Greg Maddux coughed up a lead this afternoon. Florida leads Atlanta 6-5, bottom of the 9th. Arizona behind the no-hit pitching of Andy Pennis, leading Cincinnati 5-0. The Mets trying to salvage one of Montreal, have a 1-0 lead in that game behind Willie Blair. And the Cubs are up on Milwaukee 6-3. No home run by Sosa, but Chicago leads 6-3. They have a 1-game lead in the wild card. The rest of the action will start later. Here we're in the 9th inning. Phillies lead at 4-1. Kevin Young leading off. One ball and 1 strike, and 1-2 the count to Kevin Young. There's one out at Cincinnati in the bottom half of the ninth inning. John Nunley is flied out to left field, so Andy Benes is 2 out away from a no-hit game. We'll keep you posted on that one as Young goes down swinging on the splitter.
And obviously Leiter's okay because he's come out here to pitch the ninth inning. Ricky Vitalico is up in the bullpen along with Yorkis Perez. There's that split finger fastball that he swings over.
Jose Guillen has singled, lined out on a great play by Scott Rowland and singled.
Scott Rowland's made a lot of great plays, and that's in the top 5 as far as just an athletic play.
One strike to Guillen. Guillen has knocked in the only Pittsburgh run. Pirates have just 3 hits off Phillies pitching today. 2 strikes.
And Guillen has 2 of them.
He pops one up foul. Still nothing in 2. Missing inside, a ball and 2 strikes to Guillen. Struck him out. 2 straight strikeouts for Leiter here in the ninth inning. 2 down, and the batter will be Turner Ward.
Take another splitter. This ball goes straight down. It was. And you see Guillen chase it.
Ward has twice flied to left and grounded out. And nothing to Ward. Baseball is a great game. The Mets going to Montreal figuring they're going to sweep behind Rick Reed and Bobby Jones. Now they have to start Willie Blair out of the bullpen today, and he's shutting out Montreal in the 8th inning.
That's Nomo's spot, right? Today?
Yeah.
And after Nomo got hit around by the Phillies the other night and had an elbow problem, Willie Blair comes out of the pen. Well, yeah, that's why you don't ever count anything before you do it.
2 balls and a strike to Ward.
The only thing predictable about this game is its unpredictability.
Fouls it down the left field side. It'll go out of play, and it's 2-2.
Mets finally got a run in the 8th inning to lead 1-0. That's how tough a game it is for them today.
And against the guy you figure you should score on, Miguel Batista.
Right.
So
stay with them.
You never know.
Well, they're getting a little pressure, too, now. And all of a sudden, things get tougher.
Bills trying to close this one out, leading 4-1 with 2 outs and no base runners in the ninth inning. Hard ground ball. Rico Brogna has it to Leiter, covering. Game over. Phillies win by a score of 4-1. 6 up and 6 down for the 23rd save of the year for Mark Leiter as the Phillies win it by a score of 4-1 here at Veterans Stadium. Bobby Abreu, the first upper deck home run to right field this year. As the Phils win 4-1, Paul Byrd will get the win. And Abreu, another good ball game. Great defensive plays by Rico Brogna and by Scott Rowland aiding Paul Byrd. And this is his 4th win as the Phillies finish the season series with the Pirates, winning 8 and losing 1. 4-1 final this afternoon. And we will be back with the totals and a recap for this afternoon's game here at Veterans Stadium right after these messages. Stadium, the Phillies have taken the field. Final home game of the season, and Felipe Alou starting